wait for people to come in, and then we'll go over everything. I don't think they get notifications again. Nope. Say hi when you come in, guys. Let's just put that copy. I'll give it a couple more minutes and then I'll just carry on and do it and show it, and then people can watch it after, and then it makes it easier. But I need to carry on soon, so I got a chance to come back. Hi Kayla. Did you get notifications, Kayla?
Most people aren't at the moment.
No, nobody. They said earlier that they're not getting notifications. Just give it a few more minutes, and if not, I'll just carry on and then people can watch it later and ask questions later. No, I didn't get any notifications. No, nobody is. I don't know why. I don't know how to change it. I don't know what's going on, why people are not getting notifications. Hi, Sugar. I don't know why people's not getting notifications. But I'll give it a few minutes and then I'll go live and I'll carry on and do it, and then people can always ask questions later or leave commentary underneath, and we can go from there. But can you put on the page, babe? And then we can sort of go, I'll just go from there, because I know like a lot of you are not getting notifications at the moment, all have said earlier. So we're going to go over the video that Nate Broady put up 2 hours ago. I've sat and contemplated it for a bit, purely, or one, I don't want to get a strike, but I probably will, so that's fine. And secondly, whether just to do it full stop and yeah, maybe unsubscribe and resubscribe. That might be a good point. Hey Karen, hey B. So I've decided to just do it anyway and just go and just take the consequences. So if I get, you know, if I get into trouble, then I get into trouble, and we'll just deal. Right. I didn't get one either, but I checked when I have time. Ah, thanks, babe. No, a lot of people are not getting it at the moment. I don't know why. It's so so crazy. But I thought I'll play Nate's video, and we can sort of pause it, have a chinwag about it, tell you what I think, and so on and so forth, and just go over, because I know a lot of you guys don't watch or aren't sub to Nate. If you provide commentary, it's fair use. Well, I'm hoping that's the case, and I am going to do commentary through it, and I put his link in the descriptions, and we will obviously talk about it. So this is the beginning. This is Nate Broady. That's the name on YouTube. The link's at the top. I'll also put it in the description as well. Just I'll just start it off, and we'll go from there.
I'm Espinoza, Chief of Pasadena Police Department. I know that David Earl Worden is a sexual predator.
Steve said a rape didn't actually take place.
I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape. Because
Yeah.
I think that he's an honorable guy.
So basically Nate is sort of going with evidence and believing a police officer over Steve saying, well, just believe me.
This man, Earl David Worden, as a good man, an innocent man. So what's the problem? Well, Earl David Worden is a convicted rapist. He's also a serial rapist. And he's currently under indictment right now for raping his own child.
So as you can see on here, it's got the State v. David Earl Worden, date of birth obviously blacked out, bail a lot of damn money, agency filed to any peace officer of the state of Texas. Complaint has been made under the oath that alleges that in Harrison County, Texas, the above named person hereinafter styled the defendant did on or about the 1st of the 1st, 1997, commit the offence of sexual assault between a child of 14 and 17.
And the narrative that's being put out is that Earl David Worden is an honorable man.
Person, but at least we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and believe him, because I think that he's an honorable guy.
Now,
Honorable
Steve
guy.
has said that he believes that the rapes, the serial rapes, I'm assuming, were consensual.
I believe it was consensual, but that's my opinion, right? I'm allowed to have that opinion. That doesn't make me a rape apologist.
And that all of his victims are lying. Similar to the Bill Cosby episode. Remember when Bill Cosby was, thought of being a serial rapist, 30 women came forward and people were saying all the women were lying. Well, Steve is saying the same thing about David Earl Warren. But today we have an opportunity. And that opportunity is to evaluate Steve's claims of whether this is an innocent man or whether it's reasonable to believe that this serial rapist, convicted rapist,
Serial convicted
alleged
rapist.
child rapist,
Alleged child
is
rapist is innocent and trustworthy, an
versus
honorable
the
man.
chief of the Pasadena Police Department and the lead detective who investigated David Worden's serial rapes. All right, so first we have to start by going back to
I think
1985.
I'll be
And it's the summer of
police
1985.
officer.
And I'm going to have the chief of the Pasadena Police Department explain to you what was actually happening.
Well, at the time, when we got these cases, we knew somebody was running around Houston and Pasadena, which if you go about a mile further down Ritchie, you'll cross into Houston.
Right.
We're,
Totally
right
different
on
jurisdiction.
Yeah, we're right on the border. And
So this
I
is the
remember
officer that dealt with it.
I spoke with Houston detectives and our detectives, and we had someone going around this area pretending to be a police officer, stopping young ladies by themselves at night, late at night, right after the bars close, right after 2 a.m., pretending to be a police officer, handcuffing them, and then using his gun to force sex on the victims, and then
force sex upon the victims. Just thought I'd put that right there.
like he was in love with that gun too. I mean, he would, use the gun, put it in the mouth, put it in, up the vagina and stuff like that.
But this is an honourable man, according to Steve McRae.
And so, I just kind of
And yet
remember,
I'm a piece of
this
shit.
guy is going to one day pull that gun and pull the trigger.
Something's going to go wrong.
Or something's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
The girl's going to try to kick it out of his hands, or so I had a sense of urgency of finding this guy and getting off the street because I thought
Bravo to the police officer.
Yeah. So now we understand what was happening. Someone was going around in the white car with police overheads going, pulling women over on the weekends after they come from a bar, handcuffing them, raping them, using their gun as a tool of this rape. Now, they didn't know who it was at this time, but they had some very, very important clues.
Hi, Colleen.
The person had a white car that was police-like, and the person had a uniform on. So the authorities focused in on those two aspects. How many people have white police-looking cars, and how many people are wearing full security uniforms? Here's the chief now explaining why Earl Worden was their prime suspect.
So this is an interesting
He
part.
was working as a security officer, security guard, working at night for these
Thank you, Fee.
dealerships at Ritchie and 225. And he was working the night shift. And so he used that opportunity to be your classic predator. He was out looking
Hi, Randy.
for young ladies driving late at night, and then he would stop them, act like a police officer. But he
See, stop them and act like a police officer. Like, to do that, you've gone to the point of making your car look like a police car with a light on the top, trying to stop women alone. That's bizarre.
He was wearing a security guard uniform in a white car with,
Did it have the
overheads.
lights?
Yeah,
Did
it had
overheads?
overheads.
I wondered how he managed
Yeah.
to get them to stop.
Right, and then he would handcuff them.
Well, I guess
Now,
the evidence
you may be
has been
saying, well-
presented. Yeah.
If there was serial rapes, a whole bunch.
What we got to remember as well is Nate is a lawyer. Nate is a lawyer, so he knows the law when it comes to, what's against the law, what is to the law, what, you know what I mean? So sort of it gives a good insight.
Bunch of women who were raped in this particular manner. Why was he only charged with one rape? Why was he only charged?
Okay, I can answer that as well, is because in most cases they will charge the main one, not the main one, but the main person that they got like all of the evidence for, and then if that fails, then they will move on to the others. But as he got convicted for that one, they felt they probably didn't have enough evidence, and there might have been like more. Do you know what I mean?
Convicted of the one offense. Well, the chief explains.
Back then, what the district attorneys would tell us as detectives is that, okay, we're going to take the best case we got and
Run with it.
and then during the punishment phase, we'll
I
bring
will,
up
sugar.
the others that other rapes that he committed, and we'll enhance the punishment.
Steve is obviously not a fact checker.
So apparently,
trials cost millions.
somewhere along the line, the ball got dropped.
Now, this is a very important thing to note, is that in American law, there's a rule against propensity. Now, propensity is when you've committed a crime like rape in the past, and you've...
That's actually a good point. Assaultia just said, but Joe, it doesn't matter what you give all the evidence in the world, someone will always come back to null and void it. Can I just say, I literally, as of yesterday, I didn't believe that. Assaulted, I didn't. And then yesterday I was speaking to someone, I'm not going to say who obviously, but they're very much of a huge Steve supporter, and we were chatting back and forth, and I literally turned around and said, look at the evidence though, look. And I was showing her all this evidence, and she was like, oh yeah, but there must be a reason Steve is defending him, there must be a reason. So even though she had all the evidence there in front of her, she still said, oh well, Steve must be defending him for a reason. So up until yesterday, I probably would have been like, no, you know, people got the evidence. But as of last night, when I actually had this conversation with somebody, and they were literally to the point of saying, no, if Steve believes him, there must be a reason behind it. We all don't know stuff. Steve's got evidence.
Committed another rape in the future, then the courts will not allow evidence of the previous rape to come in, because the jury would have the tendency to convict you as a rapist who continuously rapes women, right? They would convict you based on what you've done in the past. So the courts want you to only be convicted of the evidence and the charges against you now. So that's why they don't generally allow in evidence of past crimes. David Worden's attorneys filed a motion to keep all of David Worden's past incidents and past crimes out. So here is a paralegal.
Nate's link, if anyone wants to go and watch it, like without me waffling.
What the jury in Mr. Worden's rape trial was not allowed to hear.
For David. I mean, that's David's motion. That's his attorney filing that paper, saying, hey, that part about David raping those other women, that part about David having a stolen car, that part about David's brother, when you're making the arrest of David and David's brother pulls up in the unauthorized vehicle while the arrest is going down, none of that can come into the trial. Okay, so that's the
a good attorney and a liberal judge.
Now, David was duly convicted and given 10 years probation. And there are some idiots out there saying, well, he only got 10 years probation, so it couldn't have been that bad.
10 years probation, not jail time. I believe his rendition of the story. You believe what you like. 10 years probation, not jail time. I believe his rendition of the story. I believe the rendition of the story. You believe what you want.
Well, what if I told you that there's a case in 1986 where a man was found in the act of raping a woman behind a dumpster? Two individuals went, grabbed this guy, and held him to the police camp. So you have all the evidence, everything needed, witnesses and it all. And that guy only got 90 days in jail. So if I told you that happened in 1986, you'd probably think, well, okay. But that didn't happen in 1986. The story I just told you didn't happen in 1986. It happened in 2016. It's the Brock Turner case, where he was caught in the act of raping a woman.
So let's put that into perspective, okay? In 1986, David Earl Worden got 10 years probation, right, for rape. 10 years probation for rape. And we all know probation, you've got certain, things you've got to do. Nate just made a point of a case that was 2016. The man got, shit all, basically. Do you know what I mean? And he's being indicted as we speak for child rape of his own child.
And only received a 90-day jail sentence.
Brock Turner's sentence, which could amount to as little as 3 months in county jail with good behavior, left one juror so angry he wrote to the judge. In a letter obtained by the Palo Alto Weekly, he writes, "You choose to disregard the jury's findings and believe the defendant's self-serving version of events." In a newly released sentencing document, Judge Persky pointed to Turner's age, lack of criminal history, intoxication, and character letters on his behalf as factors in his decision. He said a prison sentence would have a severe impact on him. But the juror fired back, isn't that the point? A sentence should have a severe impact on...
That's definitely the point, yes. He should go to jail. He got caught in the act, but yet he only gets 90 days.
Mr. Turner. Retired Judge Ladoris Cordell presided over Santa Clara County Superior Court for almost 19 years.
Have you ever seen a letter like this one?
I have not. They unanimously agreed that he had committed these acts. And the feeling of this juror was that this sentence did not reflect the verdict that they brought back.
On Friday, women's rights advocates calling for Persky's removal delivered nearly 1 million signatures to the State Commission on Judicial Performance.
Now, Brock Turner, this
I'll
convicted
go back to the
rapist,
beginning bit in a minute.
found in the act, only got 90 days. Does that mean it didn't happen? Does that mean he's innocent? Well, Steve McRae thinks so. And Steve McRae writes on Twitter, he was convicted and always maintained as innocent. He never served a day in prison for rape. And then Steve then doubled down on it, saying 10 years probation, no jail time. I believe his rendition of the story. You believe what you want. Steve also believes Brock Turner is innocent. Now, because of his conviction, Earl David Worden is a lifetime registrant on the sex offender registry. So that means he must register for life. And this isn't the end of his horrible criminal.
So Steve McRae thinks this man, who is a registered sex offender for life, is an honourable man. Honourable man.
Activity. So now we had the serial rapes, and he was on probation for 10 years. In 1992, he violated that probation by carrying a firearm. So he was duly convicted and imprisoned for that felony violation. Again, in 1998, he was found in possession of a firearm again, pled guilty, and did more time. And
can I just add to that bit, okay? On that second charge of him convicted of having a firearm, the police found him at the age of 35 in a sexual relationship, as in having sex in a park with a 17-year-old child. A 17-year-old child, but because she's above the law, no, law-wise, it's all right. Morally, a 35-year-old having sex with a 17-year-old, and that's how he got caught with the gun, and that's why they did it for the gun.
And recently, February of this year, he was arrested and charged and later indicted for the rape of his own child.
On a man accused of child sex assault, now back in Harris County and getting ready to face a judge.
Earl Wooten expected in court in about an hour after he was moved from McAllen, where he was arrested last week.
I'm going to leave you with the chief of police for the Pasadena Police Department giving his professional opinion on Earl David Worden.
I'm Al Espinoza, chief of Pasadena Police Department. And in 1985, I was a sergeant detective in detectives, and I was the detective who investigated David Earl Worden for sexual aggravated assault, who was a suspect in many sexual assault cases, but we were only able to file on one case. But I know that David Earl Worden is a sexual predator, and I'm sure there are many, many bones in his, or skeletons in his closet. So
now, because I think this is so serious, all the evidence to these claims are in the description of this video.
We're about 12 minutes in the video,
I mean
love.
all the court documents. I mean the video that you've just seen of the interview with the chief of police. All of that evidence is in the description.
I keep putting on. I will put it in the description as well. But
now, if you are someone who's on the fence, who doesn't understand, who doesn't know, okay, don't trust
everything's in the description.
Look at it for yourself. So now you've heard the evidence.
Go to Nate's and watch
on
Nate's.
Why this convicted rapist and likely serial rapist and the man who's indicted for raping his own child. Why I believe it's reasonable to believe that this man is guilty of his crimes. But there's another side to this claim. Steve McRae says that this man is an honorable man. and that his victims are liars.
Steve said a rape. Hang on. Steve said a rape didn't actually take place.
I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape.
Yes.
I happen to believe this guy. I've talked to his best friend. He believes him wholeheartedly. His fans believe him, and he has a huge dedicated fan base. If I'm wrong on that, okay, then I just made a judgment, an error in judgment.
Steve's friend Cheshire Vig explained what Steve actually means.
Yeah.
Saying that he believes it was consensual is not defending a rape, because
Right.
in that case, from his point of view, a rape did not happen. He's not saying a rape didn't happen to a rape that did happen. He's saying that he believes that it was consensual based on outside information.
Yeah, if that didn't clear it up for you, you're not alone. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Saying that he believes it was consensual is not defending a rape, because
Right.
in that case, from his point of view, a rape did not happen.
So Cheshire doubled down and said, in her own words, a rape did not happen. So she's telling you a rape didn't happen. Steve believes a rape didn't happen. He obviously doesn't know what he's talking about. Steve is the king. Steve knows stuff. Bunny convicted, 10 years probation. 10 years. That's a hell of a long time to be on probation for a consensual sex act. Don't you think that the person never knew, with a gun, zip tied? But according to Cheshire and to Steve McRae,
He's not saying a rape didn't happen.
Now, Steve has put up a couple of defenses that I think it's notable for us to talk about. Now, Steve has made many excuses about why he believes that
I'm
Earl
the
David
scumbag,
Worden
I'm the
was
trash.
innocent, but most of them were easily dismissed. Like, for instance, he said there was a lack of Romeo and Juliet laws, but Texas did have Romeo and Juliet laws. He said that Worden maintained his innocence, but so did Bill Cosby and the Zodiac Killer. He said Worden got 10 years probation, which we covered earlier. And last but not least, Steve says that he has secret evidence and that you should simply...
Secret evidence that the jury, the jurors, the courts, the lawyers, everyone else doesn't know apart from Steve McRae.
Trust him.
But just trust him.
So don't trust any of the court documents. Don't trust the chief of police. Don't trust the district attorneys. Don't trust the victims because they're liars. Steve said so. He has secret evidence. And just so you know, he cannot show you that secret evidence, but you have to trust him. You have to trust him. So, on one side, we have court documents, witness testimony, victim testimony, and a man who is suspected of serial rape, convicted of rape, and now is under indictment for raping his child, and all the accompanying evidence for those claims, and Steve McRae saying, trust me, he's an honorable man. So, you are the jury, and it is time for you to vote. Do you believe David Earl Worden is an honorable man? Would you leave your children with David Earl Worden because of Steve's secret evidence?
So there's a question for you guys. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Or 1 for no, 2 for yes, actually. So 1 is you would trust this man being your neighbour to watch your kids play in the street. 2 is like hell, you would never trust this man. So 1, you would trust your kids with him. 2, you wouldn't trust your kids with him.
Or do you believe your eyes? One side, the chief of police has provided us all the documents.
All the chief of police.
The other side says you need to trust him.
Exactly.
Now, if you leave this video and you never watch another one of my videos, understand this. One of these two men is trying to scam you. To scam you to believe that a serial rapist is a good guy. But before you end this video, I want to ask you one question. Do you trust the convicted rapist?
Mm-hmm.
The serial rapist? The child rapist? David Earl Worden? Would you want him living next to you and your children? So, I'm asking you as my jury to vote. If you like this video, that means you believe the evidence. That means you believe the mountain of evidence.
I'll nip over to Nate's. Obviously, you can watch this video without me rambling in it, and also like it so that, you know, he's got a good estimate of what's going on.
Of this man's guilt and this man's depravity. A dislike means you believe Steve McRae.
I don't blame you, Carrie.
Based on the evidence that he has, which is simply trust him. Now, before I end this video, I have to say one thing that's going to be very, very important. Steve McRae will not address any of the allegations in this video. He will attack me personally.
Yeah, both Heretic and Fiona also did videos on this, guys.
So let me show you exactly what he's going to say. So when he does say it, you'll know exactly what he's going to say, and you'll know exactly why he's saying it. Again, be very mindful. He will never attack the evidence because it's overwhelming. He's going to attack me. So let me show you exactly what he's going to say.
Yeah, strong suggestion to stay away from Nate. He's a meanie.
He's a meanie. Hey, now, he's been talking to Nate and Heretic and Fiona, I'm sure, and all those other people, and he's become, you know, one of them. About me. You had the Sinister Porpoise, you had, you know, you have Heretic, you have Nate, you have Demi now. You know, God bless you. Unirock. These people are legit obsessed with me. And hanging out with the most detestable people on the planet, like Heretic and Nate and Fiona. I mean...
Can I just say that, legitimately, I am so horrified that Chesh is involved in this. Like, Chesh as a woman, basically standing up for someone who is a rape apologist. Whether he has changed his views now, that's subject to all of you to believe or think or whatever. But as of this, and as of this story, and as of this person, he said it a number of times. I believe his rendition of the story. I believe him. I believe it was consensual. I don't believe it was rape. Then you heard out of Chesh's own mouth. He's saying he doesn't believe it be a rape. He's saying it wasn't a rape. He's not being a rape apologist because he doesn't believe rape happened. So Chesh, as a woman, is everything that Steve has called me over the last 24 hours, 48 hours, or a week, whatever it's been. Take that, triple it, because that's what Chesh is. For standing by this man and not allowing and not saying, what is wrong with you? Man up, pull your big boy pants up and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Let's be realistic. Anybody who doesn't know by now their history with us, me
Chesh
especially,
also
they haven't been paying attention.
So what's this crap about Nate gonna go for it?
Are you kidding me? She says she's being sexually assaulted, but standing by this? That blows my mind. That legitimately blows my mind. You heard her say he's not a rape apologist because he doesn't believe it to be rape. The courts believed it to be rape. The jury believed it to be rape. The victims damn sure believed it to be rape. But Steve McRae don't think it's rape. What a it's a fucking joke.
And Unirock,
my worst nightmare come true.
You see what I mean? I'm a bad person, I'm a troll, I'm all this stuff. But again, he's not going to address the evidence. He never addresses the evidence.
How is that okay? How is she okay to do that? I don't understand. If Cheshire is a victim of sexual assault like myself and like many, many others, how is she standing there and literally saying this?
Is an honorable man. And that his victims are liars.
Steve said a rape. Hang on. Steve said a rape didn't actually take place.
I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape.
Yes.
I happen to believe this guy. I've talked to his best friend. He believes him wholeheartedly. His fans believe him, and he has a.
So because his best friend believes him and his fans believe him, he's an honourable guy. The fuck out of here.
Huge dedicated fan base. If I'm wrong on that, okay, then I just made a judgment, an error in judgment.
Steve's friend Cheshire Vig explained what Steve actually means.
Yeah.
Saying that he believes it was consensual is not defending a rape because in that case, from his point of view, a rape did not happen.
So, in his point of view, a rape did not happen. A rape did not happen. She sat there saying, in Steve's point of view, a rape did not happen. So isn't she enabling the rape apologist? Is she a rape apologist herself? Which one is it? I don't understand. If Cheshire is a victim and a survivor, how she can be okay with this. It's disturbing.
He's not saying a rape didn't happen to a rape that did happen. He's saying that he believes that it was consensual based on outside information.
Yeah, if that.
So based on outside information, his best friend and his other family probably, a rape didn't happen. He's on the sex offenders register for life. He is convicted by his peers, by a jury. He was sentenced. He went to jail for his probation violation. On the second time he went to jail for his probation violation, he was caught in a park having sexual relations at the age of 35 with a 17-year-old. Legally wrong? Probably not. Morally wrong? Abso-fucking-lutely. Unfucking believable.
Fans believe him, and he has a huge dedicated fan base. If I'm wrong on that, okay, then I just made a judgment, an error in judgment.
Steve's friend Cheshire Vig explained what Steve actually means.
Yeah.
Saying that he believes it was consensual is not defending a rape because in that case, from his point of view.
How is that not defending a rape? He is being convicted. But Cheshire's okay saying that he didn't. Nope. It didn't happen.
A rape did not happen. He's not saying a rape didn't happen to a rape that did happen. He's saying that he believes that it was consensual based on outside information.
Yeah, if that didn't clear it up for you, you're not alone. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Saying that he believes it was consensual is not defending a rape because in that case, from his point of view, a rape did not happen. He's not saying a rape didn't happen.
Now, Steve has put up a couple of defenses that I think it's notable for us to talk about. Now, Steve has made many excuses about why he believes that Earl David Worden was innocent, but most of them were easily dismissed. Like, for instance, he said there was a lack of Romeo and Juliet laws, but Texas did have Romeo and Juliet laws. He said that Worden maintained his innocence, but so did Bill Cosby and the Zodiac Killer.
It's crazy.
He said Worden got...
I'm so beyond lost with this that, like, you're trying to tell me that this is okay and Cheshire's sticking up for him, and I'm sorry, B, that you went through that. I'm sorry to anyone that's gone through that. I get it. Trust me, I get it. My mind is blown away. And the court gave my ex 50% custody. Oh my God. I don't understand how Cheshire Vic can be okay with her little partner in crime going, this rape never happened. It was consensual. Sending love to all of you who've dealt with this. I'm so sorry. I'm lost. I am completely and utterly lost. I don't understand how that can be okay, and my head is literally pounding now from being so mad. I don't understand how Chesh can be okay with that. I don't. I don't know how anyone can be okay with that and call him an honourable man, and yet he calls me trash, a piece of shit, all of this. But yet you call in a multiple serial rapist, a child abuser, a child rapist, and you're calling them honourable? That kind of shows you guys where Steve McRae is head at. That shows you that he has and always has an inferiority complex, because he tells you, you should listen to me, you should trust me, I know right from wrong. I send my love to you too, Joe. I remember your comments about this subject. And this subject is very, very dear to my heart, as many of you guys out there. You know, this is something that happens a lot. And many victims don't even go to the police, or they do many years later because of it, you know? It's just not Chesh, it's every one of the women who support him. I agree. It's not just Chesh. I will take that. No, I agree. Just because Steve's morals are impeachable, I'm not sure I would trust my child around Steve. If he feels this guy is honourable, then I would be worried. I would be worried that even having my child around him, who would he bring round? Anybody? Because he feels that they're okay. He feels they're innocent. You don't have to believe he's innocent. What was it? I believe the rendition of his story. I find it a hard subject to talk about. I agree, Miranda, it's not the best subject to talk about at all. Because sometimes the police make it worse, and they are not trained right. I agree. And a lot of people don't go to, a lot of women and men don't go, and more men don't go to the police out of embarrassment or this or that. And a lot of people, but when people have to go to the police, and they do go to the police, like this victim of this assault, she would have had to have gone through, especially in 1985. This was the end in 1985, or summer of 1985. Back then, police officers weren't. They didn't have an SVU unit like they do now in most cities. They haven't got the ability back then. It was just dealt with by normal cops trying their best. And that officer there, he seemed very, very nice. A Joe apologist. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I was 17 years old, and that my trial, it was so much worse, trust me. A trial is horrific for a victim to go through. Like, horrific. It's the worst part of everything. You have to sit up there, you have to remember everything, you have to go over everything. It plays back in your mind. You end up having the nightmares again that you thought you were over. You go through all the trauma all over again. But because Steve McRae wants you to believe him, his morals and his his morals impeachable, or something, whatever. Like, shut up. Just shut up. How about that? And any man, literally, he's 35-year-old. If I found out my daughter was sleeping with somebody at 17 and he was 35, I'd chop his junk off. We have to break the taboo so doors can be open to the victims that are hiding without support. I agree 100%, and my inbox is always open to anyone at all who wants to talk to me, wants to talk about it. 100% come to me. Do not suffer in silence. Come talk. Literally come and talk to me. I'm open. PTSD from abuse is so real for both men and women. It really is. Data, it really, really is. It is so beyond that you know, because the whole process is hard. And it's hard. You've got to go through all that process all over again, you know? Why would Steve say such a thing? Why? I don't know. Every scenario I go over in my head, nothing makes sense to why he would say this. I'm sorry, Brenda. That's really harsh. I'm so sorry, hun. I apologize about my name, as it doesn't look right in this subject. No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know. I honestly do not know why he would say this. I believe his rendition of the story. I believe him. You don't have to. I believe it was consensual, which means there was no rape. Excuse me? Are you kidding me right now? You're going to literally diminish what that victim had been through by saying that it was consensual? What the hell? He's a convicted rapist. A convicted rapist. He is on the sex offenders register for life. Our data was okay. We know what you mean. I'm so sorry to hear everyone ever goes through this. Me too, B. It's the most horrific thing. Honest to God, it really is. If anyone wants to talk, please feel free to message me. You all know where my Facebook is. You all know how to message me. I'm 100% open. If you want to go to the group and start up a little pot on there to talk about it, I'm open to that too. Would like to come on and do a live with you and explain a bit about it through. I've got help and advice out there. Anytime, babe, I'm up for that. 100. Anytime, that would be awesome. To get other people's, input on it, 100%. It's a lot. It is a lot for people to go through. Serial rapist, but they dropped others to get the one. Yeah, they do that quite often. They did that in my case. They dropped other charges to try and get him for that one charge. There was like 10 charges in all, and they dropped it to like 2 just to try and emphasize those bits more. Yeah, that would be awesome at Salted. That would give like other people that's going through this, and you can give them a little bit of an outlook on, you know, coming out the other side, you know. I am speechless. Yeah, me too. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm just fuming. I'm mad. I'm mad. I don't understand, guys. I don't understand. And I think for me, like, why Chesh and those other ladies who have been through it, like, stand up for him and say it's okay that he said that. Like, I don't understand. To me, it's just crazy. Joe, you should be a counsellor. Loads of people have said that, girl. There were more victims. There were definitely more victims. There really was more victims. And the chief of police said so. But they were, and it is quite common in the courts to go for the one, and like with the big cases, if you go and read the big cases, they weren't charged with so many of them. It was, you know, it was always just the one or the two that they could prove. And Leslie Bass says, and no, it's never your fault. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, 100%. It is never ever your fault, guys. Don't, and I know it's super hard to think that, and I understand, but you've got to also remember is that's how they've trained your brain to think, you know? That's how they trained your brain to think that it was your fault. Well, if you didn't do this, that wouldn't have happened. Or, you, my inbox, guys, is open if anybody needs to talk about this kind of subject and is struggling. My inbox is open, and I'm sure any one of these girls in this chat's inbox is open. It's not something that you could deal with alone. It takes a, if you get the saying it takes a village to raise a child, I believe that, and I believe it in everything else as well. It doesn't just take one person, it takes a village to help a person. And it does take a bit of time. Chesh benefits by sticking to the story. As Steve, I've agreed with Chesh. At this point, he would look like an idiot. Possibly. It takes a strong person to turn something so negative and painful into something so positive. Agree. There's always the guy who abused me, abused so many after I spoke up, and I still feel guilty that I couldn't protect other girls. Oh, Data, I'm sorry. I understand that, Miranda. That was one of the reasons I didn't report mine. There's so many that don't go unreported. It's just scary. It is. It's so scary. And it breaks my heart, because to go through that process and go through, you know, when somebody goes to the police about anything like this, they get first taken into a room. They got to give pretty much not a big interview, but a sort of round up what happened. Then they get taken to the hospital. They get taken into a room. They have to strip off. They have to be examined. Hair has to be taken. DNA has to be taken, swabs needs to be taken. That's a violation in itself after going through something like that. Then after that, then they get to go home, they get to shower, and by shower I mean scrub themselves till they're red raw. Then after that, they get God knows how many weeks of interviews with the police, putting everything in timelines, having to remember everything, plus having to go through your own thoughts and feelings during this process. You're tired because you're not sleeping, you can't sleep because every time you close your eyes you're having visions coming back in your head, and then to carry that on. You just sort of you come into terms, I suppose, and then the court case comes up, which always takes an age to come up, and then you have to pick all that back up again. All those feelings come back again. It's a lot for any person, man or woman, to go through. Most people know they're rapists, and that's why it complicates reporting. Yeah, it's true. Hashtag no more victims. That's a good hashtag. I think we should all use that hashtag on Twitter. Hospital exams, rape kit, pubic hair pulled out for testing, and then sent home with nothing. Exactly. Yeah, hospital. The assaulted and I have spoken to other people, and they feel more violated by that part than the actual rape. And they'll say to me, like, it's stupid. I don't know why, but that's how it made me feel. It felt like I was being violated all over again, but on purpose. And I was like, no, I kind of get it. I understand where they were coming from. Yeah, message me and we'll schedule it maybe tomorrow or something if you want. Hi, Cindy. Leslie just said that she's just speaking on her own experiences about it, and she's not going to comment on other stuff, so let's like appreciate her just sharing, you know. Hi guys. So I just want to go over that bit again for the people who was just coming in. So I'm just going to start from here.
Why I believe it's reasonable to believe that this man is guilty of his crimes. But there's another side to this coin. Steve McRae says that this man is an honorable man and that his victims are liars.
Steve said a rape, hang on, Steve said a rape didn't actually take place.
I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape.
Yes.
I happen to believe this guy. I've talked to his best friend. He believes him wholeheartedly. His fans believe him, and he has a huge dedicated fan base. If I'm wrong on that, okay, then I just made a judgment, an error in judgment.
Steve from Cheshire Vig, explain what Steve actually means.
Yeah.
Saying that he believes it was consensual is not defending a rape, because in that case, from his point of view, a rape did not happen. He's not saying a rape didn't happen to a rape that did happen. He's saying that he believes that it was consensual based on outside information.
Yeah, if that didn't clear it up for you, you're not alone.
So if it didn't clear up for you, don't worry, you're not alone, because we're all freaking not knowing what the hell is going on. Dumbfounded. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Dom. I'll sing you lullabies. I'll show you one my singing, hello, because my singing sucks. I'm such a bad singer. I'll sing you a lullaby. She is a natural behind the camera. She's beautiful. My head is spinning from the explanation. Outside info only he has. I call BS. Double talk to me. It's just crazy, like, and I just want, like, anybody that's going or gone through this and is struggling, like, please reach out to somebody. It doesn't necessarily have to be me, it can be somebody else, or there is groups out there for survivors. but, you know, reach out to somebody. Don't suffer in silence, because we really, you know, we don't want people, just because they believe that the victim's wrong, it's not. How do you think he will respond? He won't. He'll just trash the person. Nate's right. He'll just trash me. I'm trash. I'm scum. I'm this, I'm that. And the same with Nate. Because he can't trash the evidence. He'll trash the person. Leslie Bass, I used to watch you so much that my grandson thought you were the news lady. That's brilliant. That's funny. That's so cute. Well, she is the news lady. RAIN is an excellent resource for survivors. Thank you, Terry. You don't have a link for them, do you, babe? Hit me up on Facebook when you've done and we'll watch something and set something up. Yeah, that would be brilliant. That would be really, really... And I'll find some... If you find some victim shelters and some counselling in your area and in the US, or just like one you'd be able to get, and I'll try and find numbers for England, Scotland and Wales. Maybe we can like have things coming up then that if people need, and like that RAIN, I'll Google that in a minute, Terry, thank you. Let me just Google it now, see if I can find it. Was it RANN? RAINN. Okay. Alright, it's just rain.org. Copy. Okay, here's one for just if anyone needs a little helping hand, just there's one, it's called RAIN. I think it's a UK based, but I will try and find others within the area. So within I have been here so much about a rape issue, but I keep missing what it's about, what happened. Wooden Eagle, basically, let me just rewind it. Let me just put this back and then play it.
We've heard the evidence.
This is what Steve said.
Why this convicted rapist and likely serial rapist and the man who's indicted for raping his own child, why I believe it's reasonable to believe that this man is guilty of his crimes. But there's another side to this coin. Steve McRae says that this man is an honorable man and that his victims are liars.
Steve said a rape... Hang on. Steve said a rape didn't actually take place.
I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape.
Yes.
I happen to believe this guy. I've talked to his best friend. He believes him wholeheartedly. His fans believe him, and he has a huge dedicated fan base. If I'm wrong on that, okay, then I just made a judgment, an error in judgment.
Steve's friend Cheshire Vig explained what Steve actually means.
Yeah. Saying that he believes it was consensual is not defending a rape, because in that case, from his point of view, a rape did not happen. He's not saying a rape didn't happen to a rape that did happen. He's saying that he believes that it was consensual based on outside information.
So based on outside information that Steve says only he knows, the jury didn't know, the judge didn't know, the people who convicted him didn't know, his rape victims, plural, didn't know, but Steve thinks he's an honourable man. Okay. Final few count of the day, 573 for my disaster live. It wasn't a disaster, you did good. It's not something Steve did. Oh, good God, no. It's someone who he knows. He basically have doubled down, tripled down, saying, you know, that people should trust Steve because Steve is an honorable man. Steve is, you know, what he says is right. And he's saying this man was convicted, went to jail twice. On the second time that he went to jail, he went to jail for a firearm offense. He actually got caught having sex at the age of 35 with a 17-year-old child. Legally wrong? No. Morally wrong? Absolutely. I'm sure any one of you, if your child was 17 and it's having sex with a 35-year-old, you would all have something to say about it. But this man, according to Steve, is an honourable man. Sex offenders register for life. For life. Did you watch the interrogation video? In the link below, all the comments were commenting about police being wrong. It was horrible. This is just, Steve is honourable. Question mark, question mark. Well, apparently his honour is impeachable, according to Steve McRae. But just as an FYI, Cheshire is just as capable on this situation. She literally doubled down for Steve. She said he believes he's not being a rape apologist because he doesn't believe the rape existed. Crazy. Absolute craziness. And I cannot, and I will not be okay with that ever. Ever. But me and Exalted will do a video and she can tell her story and go over what she did and stuff. Hi Joe and everyone. Hate to go live when you do, but had to get out there and say hi before I go on. That's okay, I'm getting off in a minute, babe, anyway. So you can be free to go live. I try not to go live when you are live. We do try and be nice. But I'm getting off in a minute anyway, babe. I've been on for 1 hour and 7, so I'm getting off anyway. I'll come and watch you. No, I do try and make sure Amzi's not live, but I literally... We do try. We always check normally, but it was a bit of a heated decision at the last minute, Amzi. No, we do normally check to make sure other people like Amzi are not live, because we don't want people to have to choose between, because there's enough YouTube for everyone, and I can always do another time. I went when you before and then realised you'd already done. All right, okay. You're good. Okay, good. Joe, will you be moving the camera only so we can see you so far? I'm not sure where I'd be able to put it at the moment. When I do my kitchen, I might, because at the moment, how I'm set up is, this is, all the computer stuff is on my chest of drawers in my bedroom. There's not much room to put anything else. And I have a shelf just up there, which is where I put the camera. Okay, babe, I'll message you. No, I haven't yet. Sort of this came up and I wanted to go over this and sort of go over what's been going on and... Yeah, it'd be for other people that's been through it, and we know a lot on here have, and it'd be nice for you to hear like other people's point of view and like what they went through and how they got through it and stuff. It is on a stand, it's just nowhere to bloody put it. That's the problem, because on the thing is the speakers and the TV, and literally there's nowhere to put it. I don't even know where I would put it. Tripod, yeah, it's on like little legs, but there's nowhere here to put it. That's the problem. I'm not even sure where I could put it. Hi. Right, so I'm gonna get off because I need a drink. I'm thirsty. and I'll let you know if I'm going to come back on or not, but I will let you know on that. But yeah, it is online because I don't know how to do it. I'll have to have a look. All right, maybe when I've done the kitchen, I'm thinking I might get a computer desk and go be at the kitchen, but I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I'm going to get off, and I will no, this camera is about where I'm not sure. That's a new one. Right, okay, I'm gonna get off anyway. The camera. I'm gonna get off. I hope this helps some people who were still, you know, believe Steve McRae and all of that, and sort of seen it. Don't forget to go over to Nate's video. All's in the description. You can watch everything in the description. And obviously go and like Nate's videos just so that you can get a roundup of what people think, because if you like the video it means you agree with the evidence. If you dislike the video you agree with Steve McRae. So, and thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like on the way out, and I will speak to you later. Bye guys. I'll let you know if I'm going to be live in a little.